How you guys today? Good, I hope. I mean, honestly, though, we've, just out to, do whatever we can, our bros. I think, play Asymmetrics and rank up captains is what we're going to do. Try to make all the cash and stuff we can, and hopefully overall it'll be good. You know, hopefully. I believe it will. I believe we'll be good to go. Firm believer in it. And I think at the end of the day we can, oh shit, I'm not trying to fool, bro. We'll be alright, yeah. We'll be good to go. Yeah, it'll be all good, dude. Really will. No problems. Cool runnings, bro. Cool runnings. Let's see the Palmer. Let's play the Persian. What do you think? Play the Persian. Play the all of them we can. Okay. I swear I'm gonna go out there and choke him. Seriously. He's dead desperate for a couple hours. I felt bad. I throwed up several times today, which is a good day. So don't get me wrong, bros.
Autopilot mode enabled.
It ain't supposed to be a code. Normally I'd have done brought him in, but it's not supposed to be that code in that. And
Good luck and fair seas. Much obliged.
so I felt, well, just I'm leaving him out, man. Now he won't shut his damn mouth. Out there, yo. I know that I don't think you can scan near him. Trust me, be glad you can't, bro. Annoying ass. He's annoying, dude. I don't know if that's him or one of the BJs. Could be one of the BJs. It's probably him.
Enemy force detected. cruiser detected. Enemy battleship detected. Enemy cruiser sighted. The ship is on fire. Autopilot mode disabled. Torpedoes, dead ahead. Torpedoes, dead ahead. We're hull below the waterline. We're flooding quickly. Critical engine damage. Spotter airborne. Problem solved, sir.
Oh shit, this is the Persian, damn it. Forgot what ship he was playing with, bro. That's Otis.
Our team has taken the lead.
Huh? Oh, shit. Oh my god, man. Really, dude? I mean, I swear, Otis, you better hush, dude. I'm gonna come out there and work you over, bro. Honestly, I'm gonna go out there and slap him so many damn ways Sunday and Monday will look like Wednesday to him. Oh God, man. He won't shut up. Yeah. No, I will play it with it till I win. Butterface Johnson, or she's taken off, so ain't you Butterface? So be home alone. I think her and her boys got a rendezvous in Manila. Her love toy.
General quarters.
She comes back. Hey, Butterface Johnson. Hey, Dana. Hey, Butterface. What's up? What?
Autopilot mode enabled.
I said, what's up, Buggerface Johnson? Well, that's good. What time you leaving early? Yeah, I can't sleep. Huh? Yeah. Well, I didn't care. I was just talking to her, and I thought, well, we'll see what Buggerface Johnson's going to do. You having your midweek Romeo adventure or Buggerface? Huh? What? What the hell is that? I said, are you having you a weekend rendezvous? Buggerface Johnson, that's what I said. Hmm? What the hell happened to my sound went out, Buggerface. Oh, I'm good. Anyhow, huh? I done sunk this bad boy once.
Spotter airborne.
Okay. Or that's burning to the ground. My goodness, man. They're peppering me.
Problem solved, sir.
Wow, thanks, sir.
On fire.
I just put it out.
Autopilot mode disabled.
Spotter destroyed. Torpedoes, direct front.
Oh. I'm gonna go down, Buggerface.
Hull breach. We're taking
I know that. Yep. Yep, done suck that sucker twice. Yeah, I swear. Done sunk his ship 2 times in a row. What in the hell? What in the hell, man? Come right out of this shooting gate there and died. Yeah. Well, let's try something else here. Just have to take it to Captain and what we out of here. Secondary firing by Mike Yankee Sexton. Mike Yankee Sexton. Well, it's that's my favorite port. Mike Yankee Sexton. You know, I'm tempted. I'm really tempted. Because is it these ones? I think it's them ones. One of them we could have got for the balloons. I'm tempted. I mean, tempted to buy $17 worth of them. Not that I feel we'll get anything. I mean, we could, I guess. Anything's possible. Now, it's that Christmas tree fundage and Wingling? I don't care to have them for the captain there. Yeah. Let's see, what was it? Oh, Mike West gets Axton. For Cole. How about no? D. Blooms. How about yes? No. Ah. Michael West gets axed. Yeah, there is. Let's see. I only get something knocked off of me. Ain't so bad. I'm gonna have to buy me up some, so might not like it. I'm gonna have to do it. That's the one they really help. Okay, it's 3 at 60. It's about one more stack of them, make it 80. Okay. What else we should have looked? See what else here. Mine are all good shape. I was this one. The leak is under control. Joliet Yankee Besto. Joliet Yankee Besto. Okay, one moment, bro. Joliet Yankee Besto. Oh yeah, well, these. Okay. Damn, I went by them full price now. 60 of them, 70, 50. One more. 60 plus 10, 40, 74, that'll work. That'll work. How much money we got left? 14 million. Yeah, okay. Now we can play with Montana, Montana. Oh, Montana, don't you cover me, 'cause I come from Alabama, girl, with a banjo on my knee. Hot chocolate. Yeah, I'm just thinking, I don't know. We should be fine with this Montana. It's got a few off from where I wanted on it, but it's a 21er. It's a good ship.
Battle starts. Autopilot mode
Really,
enabled.
it's a good ship. She's a good ship. Persian is too, dudes. I need to do some captain work on it. It's just a 10, friend. Playing the hardest shit in the game, or you should know a 10's not going to cut it.
Let's give them a hard time.
Well, sure.
Roger.
It's a big negatory Ghost Rider. Come on. So ship's got some good guns on it. She's still viable in the game. I mean, she's got her downfalls just like the rest, but end of the day, she's good to go. I don't want to pop a spider just yet.
Autopilot mode disabled.
Enemy battleship detected.
Okay.
Enemy destroyer detected.
Can I get a hallelujah? Can I get a hallelujah?
Torpedoes, direct front.
I figured that.
Target penetrated.
Oh, penetration. Fleas bag. Or are you gonna turn right around and tell me to? Okay. What's up, brothers? We got this, Hamburger Hill. Trust me, man. Bro, M&M's over going off like friggin' I don't know what. Sure, that sunk it. What'd I tell you? What'd I tell you? Reason for a bruising, Jack Licker. Hey, little feller. Oh, we missed it. Core runs, baby.
Problem solved, sir.
There we go. I'm on a little shit and dinner. Touch more up. Pretty damn movie.
The ship is on fire.
Oh, goshy.
Water airborne.
Oh, how's he still going, bud? Come on, bro. Got you. Alright.
Enemy destroyer sunk.
All stations requesting fire on the designated target.
Wow. And Orlando is coming in on us, ain't it? Or OI? That's OI, ain't it? Hang on there, bro. I'll dial you in. That's what both front and back slowed there. Yeah, I'll give him a good track here.
Water returning to ship.
Let me tee off with him if we can. He'll sink us like this, man. Because he'll just nitpick us for points.
Our team has taken the lead.
I'm a little feller. I'm doing alright, yes. crashed out. So we'll just hold back here and give him all of them at once, bro. Feller. We're dead. We're dead. No doubt. Oh, Lordy. Huh. Oh, Lord help me. What in the world, man? Man. She is normally, she's a good ship. Lollipop. I don't know about this one. Oh, well, since I played this one. I'd show you how much I ain't even bought the hulls for it. And we got enough or no. Let's just play with her or him. Hey, man. What the heck? Daggone, man, I mean, my goodness. I need to take those in operations and rank them up, you know. Not to lie, man. I've got way too many ships, in all honesty. Haven't took the time rank these guys up like I should. In all honesty, now I should be ranking on these dudes. I shouldn't be keep them buying 108 damn ships. No more captains, 21 captains than I got. We need to Comrade Rowe, man, and all fairness, rank them up. I mean, I've saved for quite a long time to do this. The ranking them up, Bill. I've saved schedules and everything. Here I am spending more on chips. When I know damn good and well I should rank up what I got. I know I should. But what am I doing? I'm sitting there debating which super ship to buy next. Well, that's what I'm doing, dudes. I ain't no need to lie about it. You can lie to everybody but yourself. And the good Lord, He knows when you're lying as well. And that's what I was sitting there debating. Well, what super ship are you going to buy next? Well, Bub, to be honest, I'm gonna do what I keep saying that I'm gonna do, that I ain't dead. I'm gonna break over and rank his son of a guns up like I should have done. Cause man, they need ranked up. They honestly do. Well, them need ranked up in the worst of ways, man.
Ship is on fire.
Poop. Get him, come on. Yeah.
We've destroyed an enemy cruiser.
Solved, sir.
Well, man, that's what I need to do. Man, time my rank a call wasn't up high enough to buy one any shit nest way. You know. But I don't need to buy no ships, man, for quite a long while, in honesty. Till I get these ranked up, man. I've 100 and some ships. And these suckers need ranked up so bad, man, it's sad.
Team has taken the lead.
But it's true, man. I'd do these if I'd been in real good shape. I could play some stuff, man, instead of what I'm doing, you know. This is my own vault, man. I mean,
Spotter returning to ship.
Autopilot mode enabled.
Fuck me, man. I can't handle this shitty goddamn music you got. Holy frig. Makes me want to go get Otis and kill him. Oh, bullshit, man. Son of a bitch. I want to listen to music that wouldn't be that shit.
Enemy battleship foundered.
You know? Oh, backwater, keep on shining. Mississippi moon, won't you keep on shining on me? My God, man, that music you're listening to sucks balls. Otis out there screaming in the yard sounds better than that shit. Ain't you left yet, huh? What? Who you telling to take a rest there? Who's them? Who's them? Oh, bullshit. Your boyfriend, huh? Yeah, your boyfriend can't sing.
Autopilot mode disabled.
Oh. I heard you. Sure, I ain't your goddamn priority. What are you lying to me for? What did I say to get you to tell me about a face lie? I ain't your priority now, hell. But I don't care whatever, me. You're a big girl. Don't let them painties choke your ass when you're riding your broom hair. Pays you more money, so what you going on about? You better watch every damn one of them, too. Or, yeah, so? Oh, son of a... Shot the... Oh, I hit him. Okay, that's good. Mama needs a new pair of shoes. I give you enough to buy your pair of rubber shoes, rubber made, or butter banded. I would. I thought you were going to Manila by yourself. So you're not going nowhere. Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, it's that time of the year. I may not thank you. Oh. I'm not saying that. Well, I'm not going to say anything to you for going to church. That's a good thing, going to church. I'm happy you go to church. Yeah. I'm not going to say a word to you about going to church. Church is good. Well, church is good. I'm not going to say anything about going to church. Man.
Attention stations.
Awaiting instructions.
Enemy force detected. Enemy cruiser detected.
Autopilot mode disabled.
Concentrate fire on the enemy warship. The ship is on fire! Problem solved, sir. That's how it's done. Enemy battleship detected.
Enemy cruiser sunk.
Enemy cruiser sighted.
Enemy heavily damaged.
The ship is on fire!
He's taking the lead.
Enemy battleship destroyed.
Torpedoes, dead ahead! Torpedoes to port. Hold below the waterline. Quickly.
Bullseye.
The ship is on fire! Problem solved, sir. Ship is on fire. Spotter airborne. Much obliged. ship is on fire! Spotter destroyed.
Confirmed penetration.
Autopilot mode enabled.
General quarters.
Awaiting instructions. Enemy force detected.
Ship is on fire!
Enemy severely damaged.
Torpedoes, direct front. Torpedoes to port.
Autopilot mode disabled.
Flooding quickly. Problem solved, sir.
Enemy battleship.
Gotta love the hour. sailing away from us, dude. I don't know what happened to his buddy that was with him.
Target penetrated.
My God, man, he's about knocked my shit in half again. There we go again.
Spotter airborne.
Boy, we're gonna die. Yep. Oh.
Enemy battleship founder.
Shit. Well, at least we killed it, I guess. You know, I don't even know what damn rank I got my hood at. I got so many fucking ships, dude. It is pitiful. Truly. Every one need captains. I got DDs, cruisers. Got 2 damn aircraft carriers. Every one of them needs friggin' work. can't believe he's hanging in there with him, Cooper. He sure as hell is, though. Z10, that's them bots, bro. Go. Hang on for a second, bros. It's getting hot in here. I never thought it. Hate to tuck that 10 and I did that. Peter Rupert. Lord help me, Jesus. Captain's low on it. That's a secondary build as well. I don't know, man. It's a 11, so it's about as good as any damn thing we got there. Yeah. 12, 13. It was a 13 one that gave us 3 points. Don't think 3 points would do it. It'd put us up to that. Why, hell, man. We'll, let's see here, bros. Well, we can find us here to what's going on there, you know. Want that Lynx belt bar with her. Buddy, I've said all along that old Bill Barr was putting a knife into Trump.
Welcome, everybody. We have a phenomenal guest for you. This is an exclusive. We have co-defendant Fannie Willis in the Fannie Willis RICO trial, Trevian Cutie, who is going to come on our show and share with us exclusive whistleblower bombshell information.
Uh-huh.
Holy mackerel. We've had Floyd Harrison on the show,
Autopilot mode
another
enabled.
co-defendant. We've had Ashley Merchant on the show. We've had Amanda Timpson, another whistleblower on the show. You know your boy Nez always keeps tabs on what's happening. This is an absolute
my boy.
exclusive.
Cool.
Without further ado, I'm going to bring her up on stage right now. But first, before I do, just remember, we're going to
On stage, you sit in your house, you pompous ass.
after we have our conversation.
Dude sitting there says, I'm going to run on stage right now, you know, right now.
Then, so get your questions ready. Get your questions ready right now, and then probably in about 25 to 30 minutes, I'm going to look to the audience. Obviously, members get top priority, but I take good questions that are constructive and that have substance. I'm going to take your questions. But without further ado, please welcome Fulton County co-defendant. She is very well versed in public relations and media. She's worked with huge people like Kanye West. Without further ado, let's bring up Trevian Cutie. Trevian, how are you?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. This all happened in like 5 minutes. I'm so excited. Your hair looks fantastic. Doesn't she look great? Let me know in the comments. Okay, just really quickly, Trevian, if you don't mind. And I know you told me to call you TK, but just for the sake of this, I'm going to call you Trevian. So, and you can call me Nez. Always call me Nez.
Yes.
Tell our audience just a brief solution.
That's Poindexter, the child molester. That's what we'll call you.
Just briefly, and then
Oh, man, don't beat that.
Sure. So I actually was charged with attempting to influence a witness. And you know, I went to see a woman in Georgia who I was told needed help, and you know, with the whole farce and everything that's gone on behind Trump these last, you know, well, I'm going to say it's been happening since 2015, but it got really dirty in 2020, and I ended up being his co-defendant by attempting to help a woman in Georgia who truly needed it and asked me for it.
Are you able to divulge who that woman was?
Well, let's put it this way. It's the woman who was an election worker in Georgia. I was found on body cam interviewing this woman who agreed to meet me and talk. So I think that's probably all I can divulge about that. But it's very public.
And I love this.
Another one trending story on December 10th.
Torpedoes, direct front.
Story. And it was another one.
Come on, bro. I'm one is to the others.
So
We're taking
I'm
on water
pretty
quickly.
sure everybody knows about or can know very
Oh, yeah.
my you know, the reason why I'm indicted with President Trump.
Right, and there's 18 other co-defendants, and it's interesting that it's the very last case amongst the federal RICO cases. You know, Jack Smith case got dismissed. You know, Don Juan Mershon, I call him Don Juan, fake Don Juan Mershon. You know that. You've been watching the show. And
Well, I've got some information on that coming up later.
hello, we got another exclusive. I love this. You know, and it's interesting. And then the appellate courts just canceled oral arguments, which I know you're going to talk about and tell us a little bit about that. But here's what I wanted to say really quickly, and then the floor is yours. It's so funny because you know exactly how to navigate what is the legalese and the legal sort of hurdles, if you will, on what you're able to disclose and what you're not. Whereas other guests I have, they don't know how to do that. So we're really, really happy to have your wisdom, experience, and judiciousness in this on this show. So, okay, so you were indicted for that. You were included as one of the co-defendants. You have the famous headshot, which I think is classic. So tell us a little bit about why are we here today? Talk to us about what you have discovered and what you're able to share to the fullest extent with our audience.
So in the instance that we're talking today, I was approached by a whistleblower who happened to be present in meetings with Fannie Willis. And these meetings happened in Washington, D.C., in the office of Armstrong Williams. You may know Armstrong Williams as this media personality, and his media company is under the umbrella of Sinclair Media and David Smith. Armstrong Williams brought Fannie Willis to his office multiple times.
Oh, that sucks.
Communications and notes
Rupert,
of
Rupert.
the meetings that Fannie Willis was in the office of Armstrong Williams with Bill Barr.
Wow.
Bill Barr, which it sounds crazy that we're talking about Bill Barr and a Fannie Willis RICO. Bill Barr was outed by the whistleblower as being the architect of Fannie Willis's Fulton County RICO.
Wow.
Bill Barr.
This is former Attorney General, former
I can believe that.
Big Bill Barr. Yeah, Big
That
Bill Barr.
would not
I'll bring up a
investigate-
picture. Yeah.
Yeah, that would not investigate the fraud in the 2020
I can
election.
believe that. I couldn't understand how come Barr held on that
And
that
I'll share
laptop
some
like he
clips
did
from
without
this
telling us.
amazing post that
Well,
you created.
he had that way
That
before his
right?
election,
Trivia.
man.
Yeah, that I'm going to share some clips from that where you have.
Barr did.
So tell us a little bit about. So you have.
Why in the world didn't he
you
show
have
that?
the PR firm, correct? You have the media firm. Yeah.
Howard Stern Holdings. It's a fictitious company run by Armstrong Williams, and they do a lot under this company. A lot of very illegal things per this whistleblower in this company, and we can talk about that later too.
Wow. Wow. So how did Bill Barr get included in this? What was the tipping point that you this whistleblower was able to identify Bill Barr as somebody who was one of the architects? Was he the architect, or were there more?
She was in the meeting with Bill Barr and Fannie Willis working in Armstrong Williams' office. All of this happened in Armstrong Williams' office.
Right.
She talked to Fannie Willis before. She's
Damn.
mailed classified documents to Fannie Willis' personal home address, which we know has been confirmed as her address. She has witnessed the collusion between Fannie Willis and Facebook to put hits out on me in Armstrong Williams's office. I have the name of the person at Facebook. We have seen so much. This whistleblower is from a political family in Brazil. She's a journalist, so it's her nature to take notes, to record, to take photos. She has photos with Bill Barr in the office. There's no, and she's gotten threats. And I would just like to say, as the story broke on X yesterday, she has received multiple threats from the office of Armstrong Williams, and I plan to expose Armstrong later today.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
And so Armstrong and Williams.
No, his full name is Armstrong Williams.
Okay,
Black
his full
guy.
name is Armstrong Williams.
A black
So
guy who
Armstrong Williams.
he purports to be a patriot. He's a mole, a snitch. He does a lot of criminal work. He gets illegal visas for high net worth individuals, some of which are named in my post yesterday on X.
Are you able to divulge the name of the Brazilian whistleblower?
Her name is Patricia.
Okay, we don't need to know more than that if we don't have
Yes,
to.
her name is Patricia.
I want to share a clip. I found this clip. This is from your powerful, impactful. It's got over almost 3 million views on
In
X.
less than 24 hours.
In less than 24 hours. I mean, this is huge. This is, and you haven't talked to anybody about this yet. I'm sure you're going to, right?
I'm going to, definitely.
Yeah, but so we're getting this exclusive.
I did speak with the New York Post.
You did speak with the New York Post. Okay, so I found this clip. Let's. Do you mind, Trevian, if we play this real quick?
Please.
And then together, I can stop it where we need to. You just say, "Hey, Nez, stop it," and then we can kind of give a little bit more context. But before
And
I play
that's
this,
just 37 minutes of it. There's an hour and 40 minutes, and that's just a snippet.
are you going to post more of that?
I sure am.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you make sure you tag me because I'll share it with my audience.
Don't you worry. Thank
Oh,
you.
don't you worry. I love it. Okay. I love you. This is fantastic. Okay. And the reason why, one of the things that, you might be saying, Nez, why are you getting so giddy? Because this is a justice. This is a long time coming. It's a long time coming, not just for our country, not just for Trump, but for people who have not gotten the notoriety that they deserve and perhaps the justice they deserve, like Trevian Cutie and others, right? And so this is a really fantastic moment because the liars are being outed, the liars are being exposed, and I just value and appreciate that so much. And so if I sound excited, it's
Yeah.
because of that. Let me bring this up real quick, Trevian, and then you can kind of. So I'm going to play this, and you tell me. This is Patricia. You said
Patricia.
this is Patricia saying that Fanny called and said, "Hi, my name is Fanny. You can see at the top, and I'm here to talk with Armstrong Williams, correct?" And then let's play this and see what she says.
She called there, and we have like a lot of calls with her. Bill Barr, I know that sounds insane, but Bill Barr is always in the office too. He's very close to Armstrong, and he's always there. And they're always like in touch. So Nathan called the office too. Nathan Partner also called the office a bunch of times. I don't remember exactly his name.
Wait a minute, was that Nathan Wade?
Wade and his law partner.
And his law partner. Wow.
His law partner.
Remember, everybody who's watching and listening, Nathan Wade was the special prosecutor that Fanny hired illegally, really, because she used forfeiture funds and paid him a salary that was just so exorbitant, almost $1 million. A lot of you guys already know this. I'm just keeping you up to speed. But if you didn't hear what she just said, everybody, she just said that Bill Barr was there all the time. And it's funny, too, because if I can just back up a little bit here, Trevian,
Sure.
she said Fanny was rude.
He did.
Is that a shock? I don't think that's a shock to anybody.
Nope.
But I want to play that one more time because she said, "Hi, my name's Fanny," and then she says she was a little rude. That's an understatement right there, right? Okay, 1 second. And then Trevian, you just say, "Hey, stop, I'll explain this," okay? Okay.
Bill Barr, I know that sounds insane, but Bill Barr is always in the office too. Wow. He's very close to Armstrong, and he's always there. And they're always like in touch. So Nathan called the office too. Nathan Partner also called the office to a bunch of times. I don't remember exactly his name, but I have all this. I have all the notes and information. But these people are always in touch.
Okay.
So we exchanged emails, text message, phone calls. Always Bill Barr was involved in this kind of things.
Wow.
Okay. I saw Fanny Willis one time in the office.
Okay.
A small person, black woman, a little fat.
Right.
I saw her in person. I saw her, I think it was February 27. I think it was February 3rd. What are your notes? I'll show you the notes. There's a place 23. Okay. Yeah, she was in DC, not to man. Armstrong and Bill Barr. She was doing another thing, and where was the office?
Right.
DC.
Hey, really quickly, Trevian, who's that?
Yeah, I
who's
wanted
that?
to tell people who they hear on the audio.
Yes.
So they hear Patricia,
Uh-huh.
myself, my attorney, and her husband.
Aha. Okay. Okay. I see here that she says, "I'm a journalist," like you said, like you confirmed. I took pictures, so Bill Barr is always there. Bill Barr is always there.
Always.
And then let's listen to what she says after this.
So Bill Barr is coming over to Armstrong Williams' office?
All the time. All the time.
Interesting.
It is.
It's also near, it's not far from the
Bill Barr big on having conversations with Fannie Willis and Nathan Wade. Plus Armstrong Williams, I've not heard of him, but what his role is in this, but
So he's always there, and like I will be honest with you, he always treats me well. He was very nice with me all the time.
I mean, that's something else.
Listen, you want to skip this ad. I would too. But what if I told you there's a skip ads for everybody? It's called Pi, and if that sounds familiar to you, it's...
A recent poll found that 37% of Americans have a positive view of the FBI. And that's from an NBC poll. I wouldn't exactly call that right media propaganda, and I think I know why. Here's what the American people know and believe about the FBI today, sir. If you are a Trump, you'll be prosecuted. If you are a Biden, you'll be protected. And the American people that I represent are sick and tired of this double standard. It seems like every single hearing that we have in this room, we talk about the two-tiered justice system of Biden's DOJ and the FBI, and as we were talking earlier, here we are again. President Trump endured an unprecedented raid at his home in Mar-a-Lago. President Biden's home, however, was respectfully browsed. President Trump is facing up to 400 years in federal prison for allegedly being in possession of classified documents he obtained as the commander-in-chief of these United States of America. And meanwhile, President Biden is facing no charges for the classified documents he had held at his time as a senator and a vice president, not the president of these United States of America. And last I checked, he had no legal authority to declassify those documents. Assuming President Trump was in possession of said classified documents, would those documents be more secure surrounded by Secret Service at Mar-a-Lago or in a box, in a garage, behind your Corvette?
Enemy cruiser sunk.
Let me answer that question. Question for you, sir. What can you tell us about the status of the FBI's investigation of President Biden's classified documents found next to his Corvette in Delaware and those found at the Penn Biden Center? Do we have an update on that, sir?
Taking on water quickly.
What I can tell you is that there is an ongoing special counsel investigation led by Mr. Robert Hur, and we have FBI agents affiliated with it, working on it, working very actively and aggressively with him on that case. I obviously disagree with your description of the two standards. In my view, at least under my watch, we have one standard.
Okay.
And that is we're going to pursue the facts wherever they lead, no matter who likes it. And I add that last part because especially in sensitive investigations, almost by definition, somebody's not going to like it.
So I understand, and that's actually why I led with the sentiment of the American people. I understand that's your sentiment. I do want to finish this. So I want everybody to talk about this dichotomy that we have seen. I get your point, sir, but that's just not what we see as the public, as we the people. We see one case being fast-tracked and one case being slow-walked. We see one president's home being raided, the other president's home being kindly searched. You have one government agency, the Secret Service, protecting the former president and his home, and another government agency, the FBI, raiding the same home. Now, to me, sir, that's tragically ironic. And we expect more from a functional constitutional republic, and these things shouldn't be happening. Now, it's my opinion that Joe Biden is the most unpopular president we have seen in a century, and that's why he knows the only way to stop President Trump from beating him in November is by putting him in jail. You talked about this, Mr. Fry. In the 247 years of this existence of this great nation, only one president has ever been indicted by the DOJ and is home raided by the FBI. Now, some have said that President Trump's indictment means that no one is above the law. Okay, all right, I would love to see that. But what about Hillary Clinton? And what about Joe Biden? And what about Hunter Biden, who is America's favorite son? Let me tell you something. I got a 4-year-old daughter and a 2-year-old daughter at my house. Hunter Biden to me is like glitter. He is on everything and you cannot get rid of him. And yet nothing is going to be done about this. We're sick of it. James Comey decided not to prosecute Hillary Clinton despite overwhelming evidence that she committed crimes. And as I recall, it was the position of the FBI to not prosecute because they didn't want to interfere with the presidential election. What do you call this? The Iowa caucuses are in 6 months. 6 months. I think the American public would expect to see this from Cuba, from Venezuela, and from Russia and from China, but not here. The people expect us to have blind justice. They expect equal justice under the law. It is not the job of the DOJ or the FBI to prosecute Joe Biden's top political opponent, who is leading in every single primary poll, and the Iowa caucuses are in 6 months. Let the people decide. It's our job to uphold the Constitution. As a West Point grad and military veteran, this is the Constitution I'm giving my life to protect, and I expect us all to uphold it likewise. Thank you so much for being here.
Mr. Chairman, may I briefly respond?
Sure.
So number one, as to the investigations related to Mrs. Clinton, as you noted, that happened under my predecessor, and I'm not going to speak for or defend that decision.
I recognize that.
Second, as to your descriptions of the investigations related to Hunter Biden, as you know, there is an ongoing investigation being led by the Delaware U.S. Attorney appointed by President Trump, and we are actively working on that investigation with him.
We look forward to seeing the result of this quickly and swiftly.
And third and finally, to your point about the American people and their views, I worry less about NBC polls or polls by any other news outlet, but I will tell you that the number of people in Texas applying to work for us since I've been in this job has gone up 93%. In fact,
I'm not going to quote Matt Gaetz. I heard his response to this earlier.
In fact, we have
that's great.
more applicants from the state of Texas annually in the last several years than any other state in the country.
And that makes sense because Texas is the greatest state in the country.
And I think that speaks very well of the view of Texans about the FBI.
Director, any agents who served on the Crossfire Hurricane investigation or the Mueller investigation, are any of those agents on Mr. Hur or Mr. Smith's special counsel team?
Joe Biden make a historic move to drop out of the presidential race. Right now at 10 o'clock, President Joe Biden make a historic move to drop out of the presidential race. Tonight, he's throwing his full support behind his Vice President Kamala Harris. We're on your side with reaction from both sides.
I would say I don't see the party turning.
Plus, what's next for the Democratic Party? We talked to a local delegate on how she plans to vote at the DNC in Chicago next month.
Some beneficial rainfall
we know now they didn't have a vote.
But more on the way this week. We'll let you know how much we could get coming up.
And a Homewood police officer shot on his way to work. We have new information about his alleged attacker and that officer.
We don't know, they didn't, so we know right now for a fact that they didn't. Well,
it's been 2 years since that disaster struck. The city's population is...
Well, that's
has a lot of firsts. Tanya Fernandez Anderson has a lot of firsts on the Boston City Council. She is the first Muslim, the first African immigrant, and the first formerly undocumented immigrant to serve.
Your votes here sometimes are racist. You move sometimes in a way that hurts my people. And then when I get up to stand up and talk, all she talks about is black stuff. As you should. I am here to represent every single black woman and man that suffers in the community. God has my back. What do I have to do in this council in order to get respect as a black woman?
A few moments later.
Boston City Councilor Tanya Fernandez Anderson has just been taken into custody.
This video from moments ago of the FBI outside a Dorchester home. We told you earlier this week the city councilor is under federal investigation, but neither she nor the city would tell us why. Officials cited the U.S. Attorney's Office, saying the integrity of a grand jury investigation would be impaired by disclosing information.
So the first former undocumented, first Muslim, first African immigrant to be elected to city council is now under federal corruption charges.
yeah, man, it's what is that? Some shit, bro.
Tanya Fernandez Anderson, a trailblazer in Boston politics. She's the first Muslim, the first African immigrant, and the first formerly undocumented immigrant to serve in Boston City's council. Now, she also has the title of being the first Boston councilwoman to face a federal indictment for corruption charges. Now, Anderson was elected to the Boston City Council in 2021, and she was hailed as a voice for marginalized communities. Now, after being elected, she decided, hey, you know what? Let me hook up my family with comfy jobs here at City Council, and started employing people like her sister and brother.
The commission says Fernandez Anderson appointed her sister director of constituent services. She paid her $65,000, later raised it to $70,000 and threw in a $7,000 bonus. Total salary $77,000. The commission says in June of last year, Fernandez Anderson appointed her son office manager and paid him $52,000 a year. The next month, she raised that to $70,000. The councilor ended the employment of her sister and son in August of 2022.
She even went as far as to ask the city council to raise the salary of staff members so she can pay even more money to her family members.
Boston city councilors control their own budget, deciding for themselves how much to spend on everything from salary and bonuses to postage. And Fernandez Anderson advocated for bigger budgets. Here she is in April of last year, just 1 month before giving her relative the bonus.
The point is that we're not paying our staff properly.
She and other councilors asked to increase their staff salary budget from $315,000 to $390,000 and suggested
to leave the decision making to the discretion of the councilors.
I want to take a quick second and talk about something that actually adds value to your life. Something that gets you informed, not manipulated. That's why I'm so excited that the sponsor of this video, Hillsdale College, is offering more than 40 free online courses. You can learn about the works of C.S. Lewis or the stories in the book of Genesis, the meaning of the Constitution. You can check out the rise and fall of the Roman Empire, the history of the ancient Christian church. With Hillsdale College, you get it all, and it's available for free. Now, I personally recommend you sign up for the course, which I'm calling the isms. It's Marxism, Socialism, and Communism. This brand new online course is unlike anything Hillsdale has produced. Now, over the course of 6 documentary-style episodes, you'll hear from Hillsdale professors of history, politics, and economics as they look at things like Marx's life and writings, the misery and brutality of the Soviet Union, the atrocities of of communist China and the proliferation of the cultural Marxism in America. You'll also see how some of these ideas have rooted themselves in American politics today. It's vital that we take these ideas and historical figures seriously so that we can see the injustices and evils in them and be better equipped to defeat them. Now, all this is free, 100% free, and you can start that free course today. Just go to hillsdale.edu/Nate. That's hillsdale.edu/Nate to enroll. There's no course and it's easy to get started. That's hillsdale.edu/Nate to register. Now, back to the video. Now, after it was found out that she was employing her family members to these positions at City Council, the Ethics Board said, well, you can't do that because of the conflict of interest, and then gave her a major fine for the violations.
The State Ethics Commission leveling a $5,000 fine against Boston City Councilor Tanya Fernandez Anderson for putting her sister and her son on the city payroll.
Now, members of the City Council in Boston make between $103,000 to $125,000 a year. But that wasn't enough money for Anderson, who was behind on her rent and was in a financial disaster personally.
Her personal finances in shambles, including missing rent and car payments, old state ethics fines, and bank overdraft fees.
If we love people and we care about people, we respect them. And if you respect them, you pay them.
So for those of you who follow the Tiffany Hinyard saga, this sounds a lot like that. She's missing rent payments. She's missing car payments. She can't pay her fines from the state, and her bank has overdrafted her accounts. So how are you going to get money from a city council person? Well, it seems like she put a kickback plan into place.
Ms. Fernandez Anderson was facing financial difficulty in 2023. Part of that financial difficulty stemmed from a sanction that was imposed by the State Ethics Commission of $5,000 for Ms. Fernandez Anderson hiring immediate family members in her Boston City Council office. And in around that same time in 2023, Ms. Fernandez Anderson, the grand jury alleges, hatched this scheme to funnel bonus payments, taxpayer money into her own pocket in the tune of approximately $7,000. Specifically, despite the fact that she was under investigation by the State Ethics Commission, Ms. Fernandez Anderson hired another family member on her staff at Boston City Hall to handle constituent services. That staff member was related to her, but Ms. Fernandez Anderson falsely represented to City Hall that there was no familial relationship. That is staff member A in the indictment. Ms. Fernandez Anderson then went on to tell that staff member A that she would give that person a $13,000 bonus. That bonus of $13,000 was more than twice as much as Ms. Fernandez was paying to the rest of her staff combined in bonuses. But that supersized bonus came with a hitch. Ms. Fernandez Anderson told staff member A that she would need to fork over $7,000 in cash back to Ms. Fernandez Anderson. Staff member A agreed. The indictment alleges that after staff member A received the deposit of approximately $10,000 after taxes in her bank account, staff member A was directed to make cash withdrawals. And she did that in the days following the receipt of the money in her bank account. $3,000 on May 31st, 2023, $3,000 on June 5th, 2023, and $4,000 on the afternoon of Friday, June 9th, 2023. And shortly after that last cash withdrawal, Ms. Fernandez Anderson and staff member A texted each other, and they arranged for a meetup in a bathroom in City Hall. That meeting happened in the bathroom around 4 o'clock or so on that Friday. And when they met inside that bathroom, Ms. Fernandez Anderson put $7,000 in cash in her pocket, the grand jury alleges. All of that money was funded by the taxpayers of the city of Boston.
So the indictment came down, the corruption seems to be exposed, and now it's time for Councilor Anderson to be arrested.
This portable warm air blaster will be in every home in America by 2026. It can heat a 900 square foot room from 50 degrees Fahrenheit to 73 degrees Fahrenheit.
Here's what happened.
Boston City Councilor Tanya Fernandez Anderson has just been taken into custody.
Here's video from moments ago of the FBI outside a Dorchester home. We told you earlier this week the city councilor is under federal investigation, but neither she nor the city would tell us why. Officials cited the U.S. Attorney's Office, saying the integrity of a grand jury investigation would be impaired by disclosing information.
So, as you will see, she's wearing the same coat and jacket that she got arrested in. She goes in front of the the judge and says, hey, I am not guilty of these charges.
Developments in the story that has been unfolding all day. Boston City Councilor Tanya Fernandez Anderson leaving federal court in Boston this afternoon after pleading not guilty to corruption charges. She was arrested before dawn this morning. News Center 5 had the only camera there as the FBI took her into custody at her home. She is accused of taking thousands of dollars in city money in a kickback scheme.
Councilor Fernandez Anderson was here at the federal courthouse where she pleaded not guilty to all 6 federal charges she faces, and she was allowed to be released without having to post any bail. Now, she left the federal courthouse surrounded by cameras and reporters. She declined to make any comment, including when I asked her if she plans to resign from the Boston City Council. If convicted on these charges, she does face several years in prison.
Now, this councilwoman's finances are so bad that the judge had to appoint a government-funded attorney and said that eventually when she starts getting some paychecks, she's gonna have to pay the government back. But right now, she doesn't have enough money to pay for an attorney.
The judge agreed to appoint a government-funded attorney for Fernandez Anderson, but said he thinks that in the future she may be required to pay for part of her defense. As a city councilor, she currently makes about $115,000 a year.
So now you have the first councilwoman who's being charged with federal corruption violations for essentially taking this kickback. Again, all these are just allegations in the indictment. But people in Boston have had enough, and people are now calling for this councilwoman to resign because this is ridiculous.
You know, Tanya Fernandez Anderson has a lot of firsts on the Boston City Council. She is the first Muslim, the first African immigrant, and the first formerly undocumented immigrant to serve.
The city has to continue doing our business.
Boston Mayor Michelle Wu speaking publicly for the first time about the arrest of Boston City Councilor Tanya Fernandez Anderson. The mayor says while there is still a legal process that has to play out, she believes the city councilor should resign.
The charges are serious enough that I believe it is of the nature that is going to undermine the ability for the public to trust and have effective representation in this case. So I think I've made my views clear on that.
Now, let's just keep it real. This story isn't just about corruption. It's a cautionary tale about identity politics going horribly wrong. She recognized her status as a trailblazer to gain trust, only to betray the people who put her in that position. While she is currently innocent until proven guilty, the court of public opinion has rendered its verdict, and it's not looking good. Now, corruption has no boundaries, it has no borders, but when it infiltrates public service, it's the people who pay the price. Tanya Anderson may have started as a symbol of hope, but now she's a glaring reminder of why accountability matters. And this should be a lesson that we shouldn't hire people because of what they are. We need to hire people because of who they are. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all that great YouTube stuff. My name is Nate the Lawyer, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Peace.
Hell no, bros.
Ship is on fire! Problem solved, sir. goes to starboard. The ship is on fire. Hull breach. We're taking on water quickly.
Son of a bitch.
Raptor, Task Force Commander here. Transmitting rendezvous point. Do you copy? This is Raptor. Roger. Adjusting course.
Spotter airborne.
My router's screwed. Give me something to drink, dude, so it's time for me to take my medicine. Just noticed that. Damn, man. Let's see here, bros. Appellate court. Amita James.
This is the latest razor developed by Gillette, a super sharp and portable razor. It features German diamond.
Alright.
Hello everyone,
Here we
welcome
go.
to the big show. Letitia James is in for it. Letitia James is about to have her you-know-what handed to her. Okay?
I saw that.
This is going down and she can't do anything about it, and boy is she mad. I mean, she's gonna probably try and send another campaign thing or two all about it, but I'm telling you, it's over.
I will not fear Donald Trump. I have steel in my backbone. And the reality is, I will not allow this person, Donald Trump, who unfortunately is a broken man, to get in the way of progress and to separate us.
Well, you know what? he's going to do exactly what he's doing, which is run the country, Letitia. You're going to get bogged down in all that. And guess what? The Court of Appeals is going to humiliate you again. Letitia James, about to be humiliated. Wait for it.
At the end of the day, the documentary evidence demonstrated that, in fact, he falsely inflated his assets to basically enrich himself and his family. He continued to persistently engage in fraud. The numbers don't lie.
Yeah, well, I'd like to know how she got $15 million, or reported $15 million that she's actually worth. Those numbers may not lie either. Listen, she's lying, she's ill-informed, she's way out over her skis. She doesn't actually understand how lending works, and this is going to get her in a lot of trouble. I'm going to get to what the court is saying in just a moment, but first, well, look who made an appearance there.
Well, that thing they've said thus far is that,
Man of the Year, $1.
but they ain't liking it, man.
About 20 seconds, an historic moment.
She,
as we get this opening bell rung by the president-elect, Donald Trump.
Big deal. Again, the Man of the Year there, Time Magazine. Also, another story I want to get to.
I don't get her about it.
Did CNN get caught in some kind of fake news story? Because Elon Musk's ex, Community Notes, is calling out a key reporter who just reported this.
3 months in a windowless cell, you can finally see the sky.
I'll tell you why Community Notes is not buying it. Plus, we're going to talk
I mean, it's appellate courts. What's a little bit of it on this?
Diddy, you knew this one was eventually coming.
It was about her lawsuit with him.
Begin the day. It looks increasingly like Letitia is about to get into a whole lot of trouble.
I don't know about the trouble,
she may be
but
disbarred.
definitely she had.
To be out of a job. She says none of this is bothersome.
That's highly possible.
Because you see, she was born to take on Trump for some reason.
I will not fear Donald Trump. I have steel in my backbone. And the reality is I will not allow this person, Donald Trump, who unfortunately is a broken man, to get in the way of progress and to separate us.
Oh boy, Letitia. You know what? You just keep saying that. You keep saying that. You have no case. You know it. The Court of Appeals knows it. And yet you actually did something kind of gracious. He offered you the opportunity. He requested that you actually rescind your lawsuit in the spirit of unity. You refused to do that. So guess what? Now you're going to get handed something and more. Just to back up for a moment, everyone, just so you understand, because it's hard to keep track. I know there's like a lot of cases. There's a lot of them. Couple federal. Those both got dropped by Jack Smith. Of course, you had the Alvin Bragg. That one went nowhere, absolutely nowhere. Of course, Alvin Bragg, we're going to get to him in a moment because he's also in hot water, in part because of the Daniel Penny case, but also this one. And then Letitia, well, you also had Fannie Willis. She's about to go to jail, incidentally. We'll get to that. But let's start here with Letitia. Letitia somehow thought that because Donald Trump may have not been entirely accurate in terms of the square footage count of one apartment he had there at Trump Tower, nor the square footage or worth of Mar-a-Lago as far as she saw it, because, you know, she's thinking that the place is worth 18 mil, while he's like, wait a second, it made 56 last year and there's no debt on the property. Why would it be worth only 18 million? Anyway, she's trying to come in between his lender, which in this case was Deutsche Bank. Deutsche Bank made out like a bandit. They made like some $100 million, so they're not complaining. They said it was one of the best deals they ever did. But she's complaining because she's like, wait a second, you inflated the square footage and you said that Mar-a-Lago was worth X when I really think it was only worth 18, 19 million. And she's somehow insisting here that the numbers don't lie. I mean, she may lie, right? But she's saying numbers don't lie. I'm sorry, honey, baby, you're wrong.
At the end of the day, the documentary evidence demonstrated that, in fact, he falsely inflated his assets to basically enrich himself and his family. He continued to persistently engage in fraud. The numbers don't lie.
Yeah, numbers don't lie. Just you. You're the only one that lies around here, and you're lying because you're trying to help your case. So again, just to back up, this is the situation where she's out saying, you know, it's worth this, and Donald Trump's like, no, it's worth that. But again, there's no victim in the case. Like, so none of it matters. And when she went to court initially, and the Court of Appeals is about to just send this thing flying, okay, and her reputation with it, already there are calls for her to be disbarred, and that's going to be entertained as a result of this. And when you hear what some of the judges are saying, you can see that they're already saying, wait a second, what do we do when we get some super litigious, crazy person like Attorney General Letitia James? What do you do to curb her influence and this rabidness, right, when she's just trying to target someone specifically? I say the short answer is you disbar her. And that's how you basically dissuade future DAs, AGs from being so highly politically motivated. Mike Nifong, remember in the Duke lacrosse rape story? I spent like 6 weeks on the ground covering that case. I never, ever believed that woman, not for 1 second. I don't know, I just had this like sixth sense that it was all wrong. Well, he got disbarred. He got disbarred because he got too aggressive in terms of how he was trying to go after those kids. And this is Letitia James' similar situation where she's too aggressive in how she's trying to go after one Donald Trump. It's gonna come back to haunt her. But let's go back to the case for a second. This is why the appeals court is throwing it out. David Freeman, one of the judges there on the Court of Appeals, the Second Court of Appeals, is saying, but wait a second, you know what, you're going through all these issues like square footage, and you're saying, well, he inflated the square footage. By the way, it's on Deutsche Bank's, you know, it's the onus is on Deutsche Bank to actually figure out whether the property and the collateral is worth what he says it's worth. And you think about when you refinance your house, right, and the bank comes in and they try and figure out how much your house is worth. That's what the bank does. Deutsche Bank is pretty sophisticated at doing that. But David Freeman, this one attorney, this one judge, is like, I'm sorry, the square footage on the place, the bankers testified that was literally the least important factor of everything that they were looking at in terms of how they were going to value this. So why are you hanging your whole case on it, lady?
If you look at what the Deutsche Bank witnesses testified to, Haig said that the financial strength of the guarantor affects the pricing in terms of the loan, and it affects whether the private wealth management group would be allowed to do this deal at all.
Doesn't Mr. Haig testify that there were 14 factors and this was the least important factor?
Well, certainly there are multiple factors that go into the risk assessment, but both for materiality and for disgorgement, the issue is not whether there's only one factor. There's often a lot of factors that are being considered. For materiality, it's whether it's important to the overall total mix of information. And this was absolutely critical to the overall mix of information, not only because they were looking specifically at what the net worth was in order to decide the terms of the loan.
No, it wasn't critical. That's why Deutsche Bank said of the 14 different factors, this was the least important. The least important. Judith Vale arguing on behalf of Letitia, because, you know, once it gets to the appeals court, apparently Letitia's not bright enough to argue in front of the 5 judges at the appellate court. So then David Freeman also says, hang on, you know, like, these are sophisticated parties. It's not like anybody is like some naive kid off the street getting duped. This is Deutsche Bank, for goodness sakes. This is what they do. They are in the business of lending, and they are in the business of evaluating high net worth clients like Donald Trump. Here we go.
Defendant's statements were not meant for ordinary people. They were directed at some of the most sophisticated individuals and entities in business.
Well, if the court wants to use the standard of an objectively reasonable counterparty, sophisticated counterparty, fine. They had a capacity or tendency to deceive that sophisticated party as well, because these misstatements and omissions were about objective facts that were extremely important and that any reasonable counterparty would want to know. Any sophisticated, reasonable counterparty would want to know that the defendants were valuing an apartment based on 20,000 square feet more than it really was, based on pretending that rent regulations on certain apartments didn't exist, based on pretending that the Mar-a-Lago restrictions didn't exist. Your Honor asked about that. The trial court was very clear that it was not coming up with a magical valuation for itself. The problem with the Mar-a-Lago valuation is similar to what happened with the rent-regulated apartments. The restrictions in the deed are there. They are an objective fact. They are very restrictive. And even defendant's own expert at summary judgment, this is at 16502 of the record, agreed that the restrictions would decrease the value of Mar-a-Lago, but defendants valued it as if those restrictions didn't exist at all.
Local Mom's $8 electric bill triggers utility company audit. Here's how it happened. When Susan's power bill dropped to $8, 3 utility technicians showed up at her door. Ma'am, this reading...
Okay, But again, Deutsche Bank was okay with that. Just saying. Okay, so the issue here is that it was a historic property, and because it was a historic property, it didn't have the same sort of potential for, you know, you can't just demo the thing and start all over again, and so somehow that affects the valuation. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. You could argue that the historic significance of the property actually gives it more value, right?
Well, it would, wouldn't it?
The deal's done until it's actually sold. Who is Letitia James to decide that it's only worth $19 million when, like, that's like basically, I don't know, half of Joy Behar's house. Joy Behar's, in all seriousness, putting her Sag Harbor 4,000 square foot little Victorian on a little postage stamp lot in the Hamptons on sale for $10.5 million. I'm telling you, if somebody wants to be crazy enough to buy Joy's little postage stamp little Victorian for $10.5 million, that's their own business. But is Letitia James going to come in and regulate that too? In other words, he's saying, I think the value of my home is X. Letitia's like, no, it's Y. But Deutsche Bank comes flying in and says, no, it's X. And we're going to lend him money based on our belief that it's worth X. And yet, Letitia's in the way, which is what these judges are saying. Like, this makes literally no sense. No sense, because it's a private situation, a private case, which has no bearing on the public at all. There's no victim. Here we go.
It was using...
I'm sorry, but what's being described sounds an awful lot like a potential commercial dispute between private actors.
Well, to go back to the first question about whether there's other examples of this, there are other examples of this. In the First American case, the Attorney General brought a 6312 case where the transaction at issue was between a very big bank, Wells Fargo, and a professional appraisal firm.
But it wasn't the wasn't the concern there that the public would ultimately be negatively impacted, affected by what those corporate actors were doing.
And that concern is here as well, because when you have hidden risks getting injected into the market, that hurts the market and honest participants in the market. And the legislature also decided, contrary to what defendants think, that making sure that business in New York stays honest is the way to attract and keep business
to that
in New
point,
York.
the executive law 6312, I just want to read a section of it. Well, not exactly, but was enacted to promote and protect.
By the way,
into the market.
Same question.
Sorry, this woman, she's the only one of the five judges, I should point out, that has any sympathy for the Letitia James side of this case. I'm just adding that.
312. I just want to read a section of it. Well, not exactly, but was enacted to promote and protect honesty and integrity. It's the same question I asked the other side. In commercial marketplaces in New York by stopping fraudulent and illegal businesses. To accomplish this purpose, the statute authorizes the Attorney General to bring civil enforcement proceedings on behalf of the people whenever any person shall engage in repeated fraudulent or illegal acts or otherwise demonstrate persistent fraud or illegality in the carrying on, conducting, or transacting of business. I don't read harm or threat of harm in that, but the other side is saying that that is to be read into the statute. Are there any cases where the language harm or threat to harm limits the scope of the Attorney General?
No, Your Honor, not as to liability, and not in cases like this where what the Attorney General is seeking is injunctive relief and disgorgement.
So I would add that this is so insane that we're even here talking about this. Letitia James and this judge, Erdogan, they want $485 million, that's the latest and greatest figure, for the people of New York from Donald Trump. They're not backing down, so now the Court of Appeals has to throw the case out, which is what they're now prepared to do. And now they're just trying to address this other issue of why is it that somebody like Letitia James has so much power. Think about this before I go to that part from the court. Think about what she was saying.
4 days after a judge ordered Donald Trump to pay $355 million for a decade of fraud, New York Attorney General Letitia James says she's prepared to do everything she can to make sure the former president pays his fine, including, she told us, seizing the buildings that bear his name.
If he does not have funds to pay off the judgment, then we will seek, judgment enforcement mechanisms in court, and we will ask the judge to seize his assets.
Yeah, because she wants to bankrupt him. It's like her mission in life. You've seen the clips. He's this, he's that, he's this, he's that. He's too white, too male, too pale. I mean, this is Letitia James. It's actually really, really scary. Like, really scary. And the idea that they can just go after someone because they hate them so specifically, or him so specifically, is quite concerning. One of the other points that Trump's lawyers have made on this one is that Letitia has no case because of the ruling that came down from the Supreme Court, and that the Constitution, in terms of the federal law itself, prevents, quote, state prosecutors from proceeding against the sitting president in any way. And that's actually true. So what she doesn't get is that she has no leg to stand on here, and that she's in violation of federal law because the Constitution says you can't go after the president, lady. But, she's rabid. I mean, she's absolutely positively rabid. Let's go back to the courtroom where David Friedman, one of the judges, is saying, why? Why does a woman have this kind of power?
You're pointing to Ernst & Young, you're pointing to First American. Ernst & Young, you're dealing with the collapse of Lehman Brothers. First American, you're dealing with an action brought against an appraiser who overvalued properties at the behest of a lender, perpetrating a scheme to induce unsophisticated consumers into taking out home loans that they could not afford. It hardly seems that justifies bringing an action to protect Deutsche Bank against President Trump, which is what you have here. I mean, you've got two really sophisticated parties in which no one lost any money, and that was the point of my initial question. Every case that you cite involved where there was damage to consumers, damage to the marketplace. You've got a scheme to get unsophisticated consumers to take out home loans. You've got a collapse of Lehman Brothers. You don't have anything like that here.
Well, first of all, Your Honor, the statute doesn't require that whatsoever for liability. And the statute is written broadly because the legislature wants the Attorney General to go in and stop fraud and illegality.
Counsel, I think you hear underneath all these questions the question of mission creep, as 6312 morphed into something that it was not meant to do. And that's something you must address, because there has to be some limitation on what the Attorney General can do in interfering in these private transactions, as Justice Friedman said, that where people don't claim harm. So what is the limiting principle?
There is no limiting principle. No limiting principle. It's just Letitia James has this whim that she's going to go after her political enemy, and she's getting directions from on top there at the Biden White House, and the Soros team, and the whole club is in on this one, right? You got to go get Trump. So her mission is get Trump, and so she's full speed ahead, and is continuing with that full speed ahead despite being in violation of the U.S. Constitution. So these lawyers, these judges, they're saying we need to protect against this, right? Like going forward, like we can't have people like Letitia James doing this kind of insane stuff. We need some guardrails. We need some parameters, for goodness sakes.
Back to Justice Moulton's point about line drawing, because I do think that is very important in this case. You know the history of this statute. It's passed under then AG Javits, and then was really amplified by AG Lefkowitz over the years. And when I went back and read the bill jackets, the common thread was always we need greater power. The AG needs greater powers as the people's lawyer to protect consumers, civil rights, and the environment. And so again, with that sort of historical backdrop to this law, how do we draw a line, or at least put up some guardrails to know when the AG is operating well within her admittedly broad sphere of 6312, and when she is going into an area that wasn't intended for her jurisdiction?
I got to tell you, in other words, this is not intended for her jurisdiction. This is a private matter, and this is why the Court of Appeals wants to throw it out. And yet she's unwilling. What, is she going to be some kind of martyr here? She enjoys being made a fool of. She wants to continue following this forward. She's arguing that in the case of, I guess, Bill Clinton, when Paula Jones was suing him, that case was allowed to go forward, and therefore that was an example of a president versus a state issue. The Trump team is kind of just saying it's pathetic. Her statement is sad and weak. I would just get back to the actual case itself. I mean, aside from, the Constitution saying that you cannot go after a sitting president this way, I would still get back to, she has no case. What are we doing talking about this to begin with? This is all because someone had a vendetta against one Donald Trump. And that's all she's about. I mean, it's really pretty gross. I mean, this is the soundbite, right? This is gross.
We will fight back for your attempt to bring Trumpism to New York City. He's called me disgraceful. Of the fact that they stole the Supreme Court seat. An illegitimate president.
Okay, on and on and on. He's illegitimate. I'm going to go get him. If you just elect me, I will go get him for you. And just the other day, she's out saying, I'm so proud of the 100 legal actions that my team brought against him when he was president. I mean, she just really wants to take on the system. And what is this, anarchy? I guess. They're really into anarchy over there on the left.
You see, between 2019 and 2021, the Office of the Attorney General took nearly 100 legal actions against the previous Trump administration, including when he attempted to cap the state and local tax, and when he sought to eliminate funds and grants for law enforcement officers here in the state of New York. We fought to preserve DACA and protect the Affordable Care Act. We fought to
You
prevent...
keep fighting on that because you know what? You're on with it, honey. Kathy Hochul coming out saying she's all on board with ICE and that she's going to make sure everyone gets turned over to ICE. I mean, you look at the 700,000 migrants in New York City alone, just in New York City, 60,000 of whom, nearly 60,000, are known to be criminals. And Kathy Hochul, the governor, is like, okay, here you go. Because it really isn't politically expedient for her to kind of stand in the way of that, especially given the crime that we now have in New York City. Anyway, Donald Trump having put this out on Truth Social before he became president, or president-elect, I should say, this witch hunt by Letitia James is so bad for New York City and state. Companies are refusing to come in and invest so long as it is outstanding, and others are leaving because of it, and nothing can stop them. The negative impact on New York State and jobs is like no other case that has been prosecuted in many years. A total disaster. Letitia James knows this, but she doesn't care. To her, it's just a political campaign. So sad for our country, and he says that well. That's really what it's about. It's a political campaign. It's so that she can raise money, so that she can try and elevate her profile and get elected again. And she's got big aspirations. Okay, she wants to take over the mayorship in New York City. I don't think that's going to be happening. I think actually Eric Adams is increasingly looking more and more secure in his slot. So what is she going to do? Oh, is she going to run for president? Maybe that's in the playbook. So she's using this as an opportunity to amplify herself on a national scale for her own political well-being. What kind of legal system, think about it, do you have? If that's what a country comes down to. People just trying to push their way ahead and knock others out of the game, and in the process, because they can identify an enemy, somehow they rise up, they gain more power. That can't be. And again, you go back to the Constitution, which does not allow for this. The Supreme Court just ruled on it, for goodness sakes, which is why I love Mike Davis here, one of the attorneys for Donald Trump, and he was on. I've shown you guys this before, but it seems like a good punctuation mark to everything I'm saying here. Mike Davis on with Benny Johnson saying, you know what, honey, you keep doing that, we're going to put your fat ass in prison. Excuse me.
Let me just say this to Big Tish James, the New York Attorney General. I dare you. I dare you to try to continue your lawfare against President Trump in his second term, because listen here, sweetheart, we're not messing around this time, and we will put your fat ass in prison for conspiracy against rights, and I promise you. So think long and hard before you want to violate President Trump's constitutional rights or any other American's constitutional rights. It's not going to happen again.
No, but she's not afraid.
I will not fear Donald Trump. I have steel in my backbone. And the reality is I will not allow this person, Donald Trump, who unfortunately is a broken man, to get in the way of progress and to separate us.
Woo! Listen, she's done. It's over. The question now becomes, is she disbarred over this? I firmly believe she should be. I think this is a gross exaggeration of her power. She's amplified her power. She's manipulated the system to amplify her power. And by all means, we need to end her career over this. Letitia James cannot continue as an attorney to represent anyone. Already, Elise Stefanik has called for that. The representative of New York, as an attorney herself, is demanding that the Bar Association revoke Letitia James's law license. And when the Court of Appeals issues this edict to toss this whole thing, that's exactly what's going to happen. So mark my words, this is the next step. This is the next layer in this case. Yes, she will be humiliated. She will try and spin this as somehow, oh, I'm taking on the system. And she will try to use this to her political advantage, of course. But she's actually going to be in a lot of trouble from a professional standpoint. Imagine this. They want to charge him $500 million. I mean, these people are absolutely nuts.
$500 million, that's more than that.
And Deutsche Bank is like, yeah, we'd do the deal again all day till Sunday. And then again, right? So,
I mean, honestly, it's more than that, man.
That's not enough. Not in the United States of America, thank you very much. It's just not. More on that, more on somebody who just wants to hate someone because of the color of their skin and therefore bring an entire case and try and put him away for the rest of his life. I'm talking about Daniel Penny. That's another prosecutor that needs to go. But first, a quick shout out for my investment research company that I started with my dear friend Rob. It's called 76 Research. You can go to 76research.com and take a look at some of our portfolios. We have 10 to 15 stocks in each one of them. You can also just sign up for our free guide to investing in this Trump boom economy, because listen, good times ahead. We told you about crypto, did we not? I mean, I know a lot of people out there don't really like it, and I keep saying just use it as, like, you know, if you had Vegas money for the weekend, instead of going to Vegas, maybe take a little bit and put it into Bitcoin and just watch, wait, and see. There's great ETFs now that you can get in and out of very, very low cost. Anyway, that's part of what we talk about in investinmaga.com. Go to investinmaga.com. It's the free guide. You can check it out. Lots of information in there for you. But let's get to Alvin Bragg, because Alvin Bragg is another one that's increasingly looking like he's in deep trouble. You saw the Daniel Penny case. Very, very good news. Daniel Penny on a celebratory tour right now with just such relief, right? Because they wanted to put him away and put him away for good. Well, Alan Dershowitz, known, famed legal, constitutional law scholar, criminal defense attorney out of Harvard University. I like Alan a lot. I've interviewed him a lot, including on this show over the years, and he's fair. Okay, he's fair. It gets him in trouble sometimes with various crowds, but he's very fair. And I want you to hear what he's saying about Alvin Bragg because of, one, the case that he brought against Donald Trump with the whole Stormy Daniels thing, and then two, this case against Penny. He thinks the guy needs to be disbarred, and you know what? He's right.
Well, no. Ain't done. What? Yeah. My. Oh, me, oh, my. Gonna whip your ass so high. Come on, girl.
Baskin.
Sir, did you want to start off with just the immediate reaction to the not guilty verdict in the Daniel Penny case?
Okay.